Okay, I'm really excited to play tonight. I am having so much fun with the foiling now. It's so funny because I was so intimidated by it, and now I'm like, foiling is pretty fun, isn't it? So I think we'll go ahead and switch the camera view so you can see what we've got going on. And if I can manage it, I'm going to try to do 2 cards, which is a little bit lofty because they're kind of involved, but we're going to go for it. So you may have noticed that Brutus, Monroe, and Chroma Web have joined forces again to bring a new set of adhesive transfer sheets. So I want to show those to you because they are really, really fun. So these, let me get a piece of white paper. Okay, so I've used some of these because we did do a collaboration this week and we did an Instagram hop. So some of the pieces are missing. So I'll show you what was there because I've got the little piece that you peel off. So we did have some little pineapples on this set, and then this one also had these cool kind of brush strokes. Let me find that last one. I know there's one more in there somewhere. It's right here. So this is what your sets look like. And like I said, I cut a few things out because I used them on my card that I used for the collaboration. So I just wanted you to see what was there so you can see what are in these sets. So you get 2 sheets in each set. So you'd get 2 of these and 2 of these. And they are called, this one is called Summer Sizzle. And this one is called Dazzling Doodles. I think those are cute names. So let's get playing. So I think mostly today we'll see what happens because you never know. When we're playing, we might be inspired to use something different. I think I'm going to use this heart for sure. And I am going to use the Fun in the Sun sentiment, I believe. But who knows? We may be inspired to do something different. Okay, so the first card that we are going to do, we are going to use the Wild Watermelon stencils. And these were released at the beginning of the summer, and they are so much fun. I think they are so cute. So let's get going on those first. And let me kind of move a few things out of the way.
Donna might have to watch a replay when his TV's too loud.
All right, Donna. Well, we'll catch you whenever we can, and I hope you're feeling better, my friend. All right, just had to kind of, oh, glad I remembered right now that I need to turn on my laminator. I usually do that earlier, but we're okay because we have another step we need to do first anyway. Okay, so we are going to use, first of all, our Chroma Glaze. Sorry, this one has a lot going on, so bear with me for just a minute. We're going to use our, well, first let's do this. Let's use our first layer with the rinds. These are just the little watermelon rinds. I want to make sure that everything's going to line up. And if you look at the stencils, they do have labels on them. I don't necessarily go in this order. It kind of depends on the medium that you're using and how you want to go about that. But it is helpful because then you can know how you need to line up your stencils. So we're going to do, I'm not doing the whole thing. I only need like 3. So I think we'll do this right here. Okay. And I'm going to grab one of my stick and stamp mats. I think I have one handy. Yes. So we will, can you see okay? Is it light enough on the surface? Because I don't want it to be like dreary lighting. Okay, so I'm just going to use some later Gator Simon Hurley Create ink. And I'm just going to grab my blending brush. And I only need this one, and this one. So I'm not even going to worry about the others. Ah, kind of slipped on me. Candy. How are you doing tonight? All right, so we have the rhymes that we need. Like I said, we only need 3. So I want to make sure that we've got that one inked all the way over because it kind of slipped. Yep, it's just a little extra. That's okay. Now we're going to take our stencil.
This is good. She's full from dinner.
Ooh, that's a good thing. We're terrible around here in the summer. We eat after the live, so we eat late. I guess it depends. Sometimes we don't.
Donna said she's back. We went to sleep, so now she can hear.
Oh, I'm glad you're back, Donna. Okay, the only reason why I'm taping this is just because I actually could have sprayed it or I could have used a newer mat. I just, in the interest of time, I'm going for it. So, we are using red Chroma Glaze. Typically, you really don't have to do any taping, but I'm not a very patient person. And I want to keep going because, like I said, I'm trying to fit 2 cards in. So hopefully we can get that done and you will get something out of both of them. Okay, so we're going to use some Chroma Glaze. And honestly, I like to use a little bit of pixie spray when I'm using Chroma Glaze just so I can get a crisper. I like the stencil to fit really tight on the paper so I can get a nice crisp image. Oh, I didn't even need to do that one. We only need to do the 3. Just trying to get that corner. What was that?
Putting up the links.
Oh, Darren is putting the links up, so you'll be able to see everything that we use tonight. Quick, easy way to do it. And I feel like this may not be the clearest image because I kind of feel like I didn't have that on there tight enough. So if that's the case, just know if a little pixie spray is your friend when you're using your stencil and Chroma Glaze. Ah, I totally just moved the whole stencil. That's okay. Take your time is a better piece of advice. I just moved the stencil as I was taking it off. But even this isn't going to matter too much. Okay, so we've got that part done. And magically, I've got some dry ones right here. So we're good with that. And we'll just set those aside for a minute. And now the next step for this card is we are going to take a piece of perfect blend paper. I just want to make sure this is, yeah, this one needs a little help. It's not quite as sticky as my other ones are. This one's seen a lot of love, but it's a little stickier, so we'll use it anyway. And I actually have one that I keep just for what we're gonna do. I'll do one that I do blending on, but this one I'm using because I try to kind of keep the same one for my glitter glaze, just in case I don't get it all up. Then I only have one that's ugly. These are really, really reasonably priced though. I have like 6 or 7 of them now because I just keep buying them because I just think they're so convenient. Okay, we are going to, this color, I'm not sure exactly what to call it. It's the red Chroma Glaze, but it kind of has a pink, kind of corally look to it. So to kind of make something similar, I just used a combination of colors. So first thing I'm going to use is Traffic Cone. And these are all Simon Hurley Create inks. And I'm just going to kind of go over the bottom with this. So everybody getting excited for Create Your Own Ending? Woohoo! Getting close. Also, if you have not ever foiled, say something in the comments, because I want to tell you, I was really intimidated by foiling, but now I think it's so much fun. And really to get started on foiling is not terribly expensive. What was that, honey?
Cindy's excited for Create Your Own Ending.
Oh, Cindy, yes. yes, it will be so much fun. So I just have a just cheap laminator that I got on Amazon. I don't think it was more than 20 or 30 bucks. I want to say it was like 20. And it does the trick for me. So nothing real fancy going on there. That was Traffic Cone. Now I'm going to use some Prom Queen. Let me know if I'm down too low or up too high or whatever.
You're right in the middle.
Oh, good.
Tina said she's foiled, but just with tape runner.
Well, you know what, Tina? The adhesive transfers are perfect for you because you can actually, you don't have to use heat with them. They're basically tape, but it's in a design, and then you can use your foil with that, and you can even just run it through your die cut machine. So I will show you how cool they are. I'm going to use my laminator for mine just because my plates for my the plates on my poor little die cut machine are pretty trashed, and so I'm not sure if that affects the foil at all. It probably doesn't, but I do know that if I'm not careful, some of my papers and stuff get all those little lines in them. So at least for the sake of a live, I wanted to make sure that I use the laminator. What was that, honey?
You're high on the right side of your phone. It seems to, you're kind of at an angle with the camera.
Yeah, it's because it's all the weight is on one side.
Oh, there you go. That's better.
So this is Bee Sting. So we've used Prom Queen, Traffic Cone. This is Bee Sting. And I just kind of hold it up to get an idea. Okay. Let's see what we think of this. And I kind of like how all the different colors make it look like watermelon. I mean, watermelon kind of has different variations in its color sometimes, right? So as long as it just doesn't clash, as long as it just kind of complements the watermelon, the Chroma Glaze that we used, I think you're good to go. So let's check it out in just a second. I'm having kind of some fun blending anyway. I find it really relaxing, so I'll have to pull myself away from it. Okay, let's see what we think of that. I have to hold it in the light a little bit more. I think we might add a little bit more of our Prom Queen, but I think really we're probably okay. And I don't want to shake the camera too much more because I'm sure that it's probably not that pleasant on your end. Sorry about that. Okay, so I think that's good enough. And, oh, I took it off, but we really want to leave it on there because what we're going to do next is use our glitter glaze. So I thought it would be really fun to use this month's stencil of the month. No, this isn't the stencil of the month. This is the add-on. The basket is the stencil of the month. But this is new this month. It's just newly released. It's called Strawberry Seeds. And not only does it work great for your strawberries and your strawberry stamp sets, but I thought it was perfect for the watermelons. So we're going to use it for our wild watermelon card. So let's go ahead and take some of our glitter glaze. This is Galaxy. So Benji starts school next week, which is why I'm probably a little frazzly. Sorry if I come off that way. Just,
you said what a great idea.
isn't that fun? I love to be able to use my stamps, dies, and stencils more than one way. Anything that gives my craft supplies more bang for my buck, I'm all for it. usually I kind of scrape across and then I push it all in again. I don't want to keep scraping off the wrong parts. Do you know what I'm saying? You kind of want to push it in as you go. And I'm pretty generous when I put it on there because you can always scrape it off and put it back in the jar. So I think I was not quite as generous as I would like to be that first go through. So we'll be a little more generous this time. And I want a pretty good coat of this because we want them to look more black than gray, right? All right, I think we about have that. So let's go ahead and see what that turned out like. Ta-da! Super fun. And thankfully, again, I do have a panel already dry. So we'll take this off, but you can see how you accomplish that. It doesn't take super long to dry, but longer than we want to take for our live, right?
Donna said pretty.
Isn't it fun, Donna? I love that. I love that stencil anyway. I just think it's really cute. All right, gonna wipe that off really quick. All right, okay, let's move on to the next step. So now we've got our glitter glaze panel. We've got our cute little watermelons. Oh, it looks like I got glitter glaze on my hand.
Use that stencil for raindrops too.
Yes, Tina, yes, that would be darling for raindrops, wouldn't it? The wild watermelons also have a little die that's super cute. So we're just gonna go ahead and use those really quick to cut out our watermelons. This is a fun set, I'm telling you. And I love the layering stencils because you can do so many fun things with just by changing up the mediums. All right. So we'll just run that through. But yeah, I'm looking at this going, I really need new plates. I give my die cut machine a workout. It is definitely well loved in my craft room. I should have like a million sets of plates. And I do see that it does kind of affect it. I can see the little scratches. I don't think it's going to matter for our design, but just another reason to keep your die plates fresh. Okay, so let's do this last little guy. Got our last little watermelon slice. Sorry, just getting a little bit of the little papers that are sticking to my Chroma Glaze off. And now we can do the next step, which I think is really fun. So the other day, I posted this on my Instagram because of the ThermoWeb collaboration. And you can see this panel right here is from our Radiant Rainbow card panels. It's this one. And I just used it with red static foil. And well, you can see I used several foils, but that's what this one is. And so I still had the rest of the foil that wasn't sticking to the panel, right? So I wanted to show you why you don't want to just throw away the foil once you do put it through, because you've got two options. You can do it the first time for like the card that I used, and then I've got that set. I could have put it on whatever color, you know, like the toner I could use it on, or I could use it with chroma, whatever you want to do. But see, what we're going to do is we're going to add it to our watermelons to give them a little bit of pop. So we'll just cut that off. And it's only going to stick where the Chroma Glaze is, right? So we'll just kind of fit those on there. one more. Let's move it over just a little bit. There we go. Now we're going to have fancy watermelons. And also I wanted to just, this is toner paper. You can buy toner paper. It looks like this. And if you just buy the toner sheets, you can just use those to use die cutting, or I'm just going to use it for a panel, but we are going to use it for die cutting in a little bit. So I'm just going to set all of these in our carrier sheet. And I'm not going to bring my laminator over. Well, maybe I will for the first run through, just so you can see if you're new to foiling. But then I won't bring it back every time because it's kind of big and bulky and it kind of gets in my way. So I hope you don't mind if I don't. So let me just move a couple of things so I have space. So this is my just cheap laminator. And then I've got my carrier sheet. This comes in with the foil transfer sheets. This one is the red static. And I'm just gonna stick them in there. And then I'm just gonna put it through my laminator. Does anyone have any questions so far? Should we check if Darren's awake?
I'm awake.
Okay, I feel like we should have like some laminating music or something. A Jeopardy theme or something. Okay, we're almost there. Last little one is almost through the machine. All right, are you guys ready to see what we came up with? Okay, when you peel laminator, sorry, I'm on the laminator. When you peel your foils off, you want to do it slow. You don't want to do it like ripping off a Band-Aid. You want to do it slow and just kind of let it stick. See how fun that is? I love that. Okay, so we'll just peel the other two off really quick, but not too quick, right? Our last one. Okay, so now, I'm going to send this toner sheet with some foil on it through the machine, and while that's going, this time I have something else I can be doing, so I don't bore you to tears while that's going through. Okay, so we'll let that do its thing. I'm going to move it back over. And while that's happening, I'm going to show you all I did to make the seeds, which was, let me find my stencil first of all. Okay, so we've got our seeds, and we know that this one's the big one. So all I'm going to do is I'm just taking a little, this is Unipin fine liner, and this works just great over the foil. I wouldn't recommend touching it right away because you want it to be able to dry first. But with these little tiny details, this works great. And this one is looking for it. Oh, 0.05. Ta-da! Got our little seeds on there, so we'll just add them to the other ones. We probably are through our laminator though. Let's get that out first. Hopefully it didn't shift too much. All right, here it goes. So you can see we used most of the foil on that sheet. And this is going to end up being our mat. We'll put that on top of it. I do have a little piece I cut out that I think I moved, that it's black, and I've got a black surface here that it's on somewhere. There it is, I think. Nope. This is going to be fun. I'll just cut another one out if I don't find it in a second. Found it. Okay, so this is from our new Simply Sweet dies. I am in love with this set. I knew this set was coming. I've been waiting. So we're going to use that today. And then we're just going to add our little watermelons along the sides. We'll cover up that one end. And I'll just hurry and add our little, I'm not sure how we're doing this yet, but we'll look at it in a sec. First thing we want to do is we want to add those last little seeds. So we need one here. Okay, so there is one of them, and we just need one more. Fun way to make your watermelons stand out a little bit.
Said she's glad you're on. She's been looking on Facebook for your lives.
Oh, I'm glad you found me. Yeah, I started going live from YouTube last week, so, and I will always upload on the Brutus Monroe channel as well as the Crafty Shenanigans channel. So if you don't find it one place, you'll find it the other.
It's already uploaded because you're doing it live now, Brutus Monroe.
Right. Well, now you know where to find me, so. Okay, so maybe we'll play with this for just a second because I'm not exactly sure where we want everything yet. But I think we might just do something like that. So I'm going to use another piece from our Simply Sweet set. And I have a panel. There they are. Okay, so this one is going to go behind. Did I do it opposite? Yeah, I did. This one's going to go like this to make that kind of stand out a little bit and away from the foil just a little bit. And then we're going to foil using the adhesive sheets on this little cute rectangle that you can find in the Simply Sweet die set. So we're going to use, I think the one that fits the best is Sun and Fun. And when I think of summer, I always think of watermelon. That's just, they just kind of go together in my opinion. So we're going to peel back, there's two sides. If we can do it, let's see if we can get it apart. There we go. So there's the side that's just thinner and this one's thicker. And that's the one that has the stickum on it. So let's see if we can kind of center that. I think we're pretty close there. I can live with that. So now if I didn't have a laminator, I could just put that, I would still put it through a carrier sheet just so that you don't, what was that? All right, Donna, you have a good night, my friend. I'm going to put this through the laminator, but you could put it through your die cut machine. So while that's going, I'm going to trim down our little trim piece.
Granilia says hi.
Granilia? Hello, how are you? And look how fun. This set has a little scallop edge. It has this fun little, I don't know what you call that edge. And then it's got this fun vine and the little strawberries you can add to it. This is a really fun set. And it's a good staple. It's got all the tags. It's got all of the stuff that you need to keep your, to just, to get your stuff how you want it. So we have one more element I want to add, and then we'll add that to a card base. And that is, now that we've got our adhesive, we can peel this off and it'll leave the adhesive behind. Can you see that in the camera? I'm not sure if you can see that or not. I hope you can.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, good. So now, these were cut out of toner paper. So we're going to use those, and we're going to use this, and we're going to use some of our green sketch foil. So I'm just going to cut that. And maybe just cut this strip. See if we can just cut it along. So now we can add this to our list of things that we're sticking through our laminator tonight. And then let's get this started to be assembled. Take those off and let's get everything attached. So you saw how easy it was to set up sentiment. I didn't even have to add any product or anything. I just had to use the little, basically it's just like a sticker that you stick through the laminator or your die cut machine. Stick your foil on there and then I'll show you how that turned out in just one sec. These little skinny mats are always tricky for me to line up. But let's be honest, I struggle with keeping everything straight and lined up anyway. Just not my forte. All right, well, we're gonna call that good for that. Okay, so let's see what we have here.
Emery said I always get some kind of cookie.
Well, you know what, Anne-Marie, you are definitely my friend. You can be my friend any day. Okay, so we've got these fun little pieces, and these again from the Simply Sweet set. And then this is how our adhesive transfer sheet worked. Look how fun that is. Isn't that fancy? And so simple. So we can add all of our elements to our card. Let's just add this to this right now because it's just easier if we have fewer pieces to mess with, right? This month has been so funny because I know I said this on my live last week, but there's so many fun things. I just want to play with it all. And there aren't enough days of lives to give it all to you. So I fit a lot in one live.
Emery said, it looks so professional. I love that. Are these new?
Yes, these are new. They are fun. I know they do look professional. They're just easy and fun, and you don't have to work to fuss with it, and it just turns out. They are called Adhesive Transfer Sheets, and they are a collaboration between Brutus, Monroe, and Thermoweb. This is the summer Sizzle set. There were some pineapples here that are no longer on the set because I used them. And then these are the Dazzling Doodles, and they have some little brush strokes that were up here that I used on an earlier project. Okay, so now we're just gonna mess with our card a little bit and make sure we know how we want it. I think something like that. So let's get our sentiment on there. And then we'll use some foam just because I like them to have a little bit of varying depth on my card. But first things first, let's get our sentiment on there. Let's put it down a little lower, maybe right in there. Then I'm just going to use my Barely Art glue for this skinny little strip. This glue is awesome. This fine tip is perfect when you're doing something like this. Okay. So I think we'll stick that right about maybe a third of the way up. Oh, it looks like I glued the wrong side, but it doesn't really matter. I need to scooch it over just a little. We'll just trim off that edge. I actually think I'm going to trim it to there on both sides. Okay, so now let's put our big watermelon down first. And that one I think I'll just use flat on the card. We're kind of gonna use that in the... I was gonna do it straight up and down, but I like things to be wonky. I don't like them to always be necessarily arranged straight.
Just said creative opportunities.
That's right, creative opportunities. I have
Then it says
a
no
plenty.
errors in crafting.
It's a good thing, huh? Yes, I think that sometimes it's fun when you have to work around something. I mean, I obviously don't want to choose that necessarily, but it's one of those things where sometimes it makes your card that much more fun when you go, oh yeah, I wasn't sure how that was going to work out, but managed my way around that one. And then I think we'll do...
Gina said wonky is my friend.
Yes, wonky is very forgiving. I am all about the forgiving stuff. I need lots of forgiving. Okay, so I don't even know if that's the same as what I had down, but that's how I'm liking it. So that's how we're doing it. And now we just need to add this piece. And you can see, I love that these are just a little embellishment that just adds a lot. And it's just one of those things that's a good staple to have in your stash, I think. All right, now let's add that to a card base and call that one done. So we'll see. I may have to do the other one another day because it just depends on. We have one car and one driver, and that's me. So if anybody needs a ride, like my son, that's how we need to do that. And he has an event at the same time that I do this, so sometimes it's a little tricky, but we work it out. I think we make a pretty good team, Darren and I. We find ways around things. All right, so let's add this, and then, you know, we may save our other card for another day. What I actually think I might do is just show you what I'm going to use and make the card and post it when I post this one. Okay? Does that sound okay? Because it's really similar. The process is similar as far as what I'm using and everything. So there is our Sun and Fun Wild Watermelon card. And then the other one I'm going to make, I'm not going to do tonight. I'm going to make it, like I said, and post it with everything else though. And I'm going to use... Okay, so these are on sale. So I'm telling you now, you want to grab them while you can because these are on clearance. But they match so perfectly with the Jungle Leaves dies that I really wanted to play with them together before they're gone. So I think these are on sale for like $2. But you've got these dies that are perfect to go with it. So I cut the dies out of toner paper. And I'm going to use green sketch foil with those. And then I'm going to use those with our cute little Later Gator stamp set. So watch for that. Like I said, I'll just post it at the same time as I do this one. And that way I can still fit in that extra project, but unfortunately we are out of time for today. But wasn't that fun? And it really wasn't hard. It took some time to wait for things to dry, but really this is a really fun and easy card to make. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I am so excited to be able to come to you from YouTube, and I hope that you will visit me here next week. I'll be here. I'm just looking at the time. Next week is not the create your own ending yet, right? Right. Okay, so yes, I will be here next week, and I will have something fun and ready. I'll have to make sure that, yeah, I should be fine either way. Sorry, still planning in my brain, but I will have something ready for you next week. Thank you so much. I will see you then. Bye-bye.